Hey everybody, welcome back, and if this is your first time here, welcome. In a previous video, I mentioned that over the course of my lifetime, I have bought and sold enough gear to basically start my own drum shop. I have a Word doc that I keep open at my desk 24/7. It's called Drum Notes, appropriately. So I'm going to give you some ideas. In the case of my Word doc, what I have is I have a section where I keep track of everything I buy and or sell. And typically I write the date, price paid or sold, where I bought it from, etc. You'd be surprised over time if you buy a lot of gear, you'd be surprised how often you may go back to do a quick search. So that's one section. In another section, I have all of my current gear notes, my buffer and sample size and my VSTs. I have all of my backups in my two modules. I have that all listed, so I know exactly what the backup name is and when I did it and what's on it. And I don't mean the detail of every single kit. I just know what expansion packs or et cetera, et cetera. And then the other sections that I really want to hone in on in this conversation is, I have my sort of buy and sell wish list. Now, in the buy list, I have it broken out in a couple sections. I have sort of an aspirational, kind of things I put aside saying, hey, it would be cool to have something XYZ. And I usually have that, listed out. Maybe I have things with, price points on it, at that time. But if I've done research on it, I've got links on, key things that I saw or somebody said that I want to refer to. So when I go back to that item, I have all of the research information that I already did all in one place. So that's sort of the aspirational, I'll call that the parking lot stuff. Then I have another list that, I have sort of in order of what's next on my buy list. And again, the beauty of electronic systems is I can put that there and, this week, this is absolutely the next thing I want to get. And then next week, either something else comes along or I change my mind. And that number one on the list may become number 2 or 3 or, and that list changes. I'll look over time, and that's another key component here is timing. I'll talk about that in a second. But, I'll put it on the list. And as I, think about it a bit more, I'm like, do I really want that? And that's sort of, yeah, maybe not. And then I toss it off the list. And that gets down to 2 other parts of this list that are really critical. Number 1 is timing. So what I found is, putting it on the list, just kind of sitting with it, even if it's a week, just makes me kind of think differently. Now, that being said, 2 things. Number 1, if I need something, if I need new sticks or, I want a new drum head or something, that's different. That's just stuff I'm going to go get. I don't need to think about that. And, if it's something on the list that I've been kind of hemming and hawing about, putting it on a list and delaying the buy just a bit, just makes me think a little bit harder about it. The second part of this, which is I think the one of the key parts of this, is I do a pros and cons list. So I'll have the item and I'll say, boy, it would be really cool to own this. And then from all of my research and all the things I've read and watched on this thing, I'll make a list of what I love about it. And maybe what are some of the things I might not like or the barriers, example of, this is the coolest thing as far as the uniqueness of it. There's nothing else like it. I can do this musically for an application. I can do this, blah, blah. So I'll put down all of the reasons that I can think of why I want that and what am I going to do with it? Long-term, short-term, etc. On the cons list, I then put down all of the barriers and negatives about it. Does it have a steep learning curve? Am I really going to use it? Let's think about in 6 months or a year, how much time am I going to invest in this thing? Do I want to? And that gets down to sort of the difference of, do I really want this or not? And, and if I get to the point of saying, maybe I really don't want it, or maybe I thought I wanted it, Then I just move it to that aspirational section and just hold that information, because I guarantee at some point I'm going to see somebody using a piece of gear and go, hey, that's really cool. And then I already have all the information on it. So, is there anything else I can think of with this? Again, this is not meant to be a long, drawn-out video. It's really all about just, talking about a tip. So I talked about Word document and what I use, and what you use, whatever, it doesn't matter. My primary point here is develop a system, use whatever electronic system is easy for you to get, and then, do due diligence with this thing, that you can really take some time and, really think about what you're doing and what you want to do and the reasons for yourself. Asking somebody on a drummer forum, hey, what would you get? And like, well, they're not you. I'm not you. You are the only one that can decide whether you want to buy something. Now, almost everything I've said so far has been about buying. I also use this list for when I sell stuff. Same thing. I look at a piece of gear and I'm like, okay, I want to get something else, and I haven't been using this piece of gear for the last couple of months, but I still like that piece of gear. And now I use this list and do the pros and cons. Do I want to sell it? Okay, the pro, well, if I sell this, I get the cash for the other thing that I really want to buy. Okay, the con, am I going to miss that thing? Because there are so many times, and I'm sure you do the same, where you sell something and literally sometimes a week, a month, even 8 months later, something pops up and go, man, I wish I really kept that, blah, blah, blah. And that's my point. It's all about the regret, stopping the regret. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier about timing. When you sit on this thing and write it out and write your thoughts, both good and bad, pros and cons, on all of these decisions, it just helps you form your own decision, and it's a better decision that you'll be really happy with short-term and long-term. So that's that. The other thing that I'm working on right now is, so I've been using an Excel worksheet to keep track of all of the different kits that I have on my two modules. I have a Roland 50X and I have a V71. The 50X, I own 6 sound packs, and the V71 I've had now for 14, 15 months, and I already have 5 expansion packs for that thing. Now, the 50X only holds 100 kits. The V71 holds 200 kits, which is great, But what I'm trying to do is I'm working on a project right now. I'm not going to get into the detail with it, but the Excel worksheet, where I use that Excel worksheet to list out my kits, has been an absolute lifesaver in many times. And for this next thing that I'm working on now has really been the foundation of it. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into this at all right now. Really looking forward to sharing with you guys what I've been working on these last couple of weeks and what I'm continuing to work on. That's probably my next video. So that's it. That's all I wanted to go over with today. Again, I'm really hopeful that these type of videos help you in your own musical drumming journey. As always, thanks for watching. Comments and questions down below. I'll do my best to get back to you. Have a great one. Catch you next time. Thanks.